Let's have the conversation on coalition and politics in Nigeria. Our in-studio guest is Chime Emmanuel. He is a public affairs analyst. Good evening, Chime Emmanuel.
Thank you very much. Good evening, guys.
Okay, thank you for joining us. It's a pleasure. Just as we had read already, there's a coalition going on to unseat the present president of Nigeria. And knowing that this same president came in through, a coalition, the APC as well, back then. And now we are having the same situation being played out right before us, where we have the political bigwigs in the ADC, we have the P2B, we have the Rufai, we have Atiku Abubakar, we have David Mark, so many of them. And all of this is aimed at unseating the present president of Nigeria, his name, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Do you think that this coalition stands the chance against the APC come 2027?
Okay, I think when we are talking about coalition force, we should know. You just made mention of, representatives in the coalition. We're talking about coalition that represents Nigerians, larger population of Nigerians, suffering masses in Nigeria. I mean, that represent those that are dying in Benue State, dying in Enugu State, dying in different parts of this country. So these are just, frontiers who are being saddled with the responsibility of governing the strength that we have as to fight for our destinies. Meanwhile, prior to now, we rightly believe that, or I rightly say that was in one of my live sessions on television some time back. I rightly said that should be about 2 months ago. I rightly say if the coalition is going to be all about just grabbing the power, just like we see in APC today, then let's allow the guy that is there. Let the rhetoric continue until 2031.
Okay.
Yes, but what we are looking at here is a very clear plan template whereby we're going to see a new leadership that's going to come to salvage Nigeria, to take Nigeria out of the quagmire where we have seen ourselves today. So it's not about going to take power. Nigeria is crying, Nigeria is bleeding, Nigeria is dying per day, Nigeria is going down the drain. Today, if you see our passports including, remember we are giants of Africa, right?
Of course we are.
Thank you. Maybe giants in stupidity, giants in corruption.
Very specific in what giants
a giant whose former president, and of course the sitting president, and of course other top politicians cannot buy paracetamol here, cannot check their BPs down here with us. A giant of Africa, whom the former aide to the late President Muhammadu Buhari rightly told us today, he said, that's Femi Adesina, he rightly told us that even Buhari would have died before now. He said he would have died long ago. Had it been that he was making use of our hospitals here. Mm-hmm. We're talking about giants of Africa. Mm-hmm. And so, in other words, what it means is that we are giants of moribund system in Africa. All right? So, like I told them, and I'm saying it again, what we need now is not politicians. What we are looking for now is a coalition that's going to come to produce leaders, not politicians now. We don't need those who are so accurate, who are so good in politics. We need those who are so good in leadership currently.
All right, let's look at the aim of this very party right now, coalition of the ADC. The main aim right now, it seems they're looking at unseating the present administration. Now, the question is, this mindset, is it a healthy one for Nigeria right now? Because it's coming out like a competition to outdo, to prove that they are the real big wit of politics in the country. Is this what Nigeria should be looking at for right now?
That shouldn't be the center of discussion. Just to outdo, just like I rightly said prior to now. It's not supposed to be about just taking down or changing home server is there on the seat. No, it's not. It's not supposed to be. So we are expecting to see someone who comes with a different mindset to change the rhetorics. The rhetorics has been, if you are there, you bring your cohorts, you bring your cronies very close to you. Anybody can be doing whatsoever and nothing will happen. We don't want to see a sitting president that will be there again, and the likes of Yaya Bello will be walking around free, who have stolen a whole lot, billions of naira in Kogi State as a former governor, and today he's walking free. In fact, what is happening now is that if you go to Abuja, his poster is everywhere because he's vying to become the next APC national chairman. But this is somebody who has stolen tens of billions over 80 billion naira, and who is supposed to be in prison by now. But we have a president who is wishing him happy birthday. For goodness sake, we are supposed to be seeing a president that is supposed to be visiting Yaya Bello in the prison to ask him, do you still have more money that you are holding that belongs to the public? Bring them out. So we want to see a president that's going to come out, that's going to take over the office of the presidency and begin to touch the lives of the people. Not about, hey, we want to show you that we have the power, that you did not have the power. No, it's not about that. Meanwhile, our sitting president today, he do not actually need to have all the governors in Nigeria, in his party for him to win the next election. He did not need that. He is an incumbent. Remember, when you are campaigning, prior to the time you enter office, you campaign on the basis of what you're going to do.
Yeah.
By the time you enter office, the constitution provides that you have another opportunity to vie for the next, to vie for another tenure, right? Now, in executive offices in Nigeria, now, immediately you join, you are being sworn in. Your campaign for the next opportunity, for the next tenure starts. That particular time you are being sworn in. That how your campaign starts is by how you dispenses good governance. And when once you deviate from dispensing good governance to, remarrying and, indulging yourself in corrupt practices, grabbing monies and running with it, because we have a president sitting today who rightly told us after his address in Chatham House in UK, he rightly addressed his supporters and told them that power is not being served on a plate of silver. He said it's not being served in a la carte. He said the way you get power is by snatching it, by running with it, by stealing it. You snatch it, you grab it, you run with it, and that's exactly what we're seeing. And after grabbing it, then we'll discover that there is nothing there is no plan on ground. We have a president that did not participate in any presidential debate at all. So we want to see people who will come, make themselves available. And we are seeing some of them that are doing that currently. Everybody knows the particular person we're talking about here.
Okay, so now that we're talking about the people involved in this coalition party, we have the El-Rufai, P2B, Atiku Abubakar, so many of them. These people are people that have come out for Atiku Abubakar and P2B, have come out in the 2023 election for the position of presidency from their different parties. And these are people that have ambitions, personal ambitions, and saying that they are all in one party, saying that they are trying to unseat the APC president. Do you think that they are working for the interest of Nigerians, or it is just another selfish interest that they're trying to achieve?
Okay, just like God after creating man, at a time God said he repented. And God now said that the heart of man is full of evil. All right? And so in this context, you cannot actually vouch for. But the other way around, we know one of them. You rightly made mention of two names there, who are majorly the frontliners. We know one of them who is being so consistent. You can say he's so stingy, but that's exactly what we need now. We need prudence. The young man is not being stingy. He's just being prudent. And that's exactly what we need now. We do not need someone who knows how to eat money. We need someone who knows how to invest money, who knows how to manage money, who knows how to impact lives. And he's been doing it in his own private capacity. We've been seeing this particular person who has been going from places to places, touching lives with his own private money, not public funds. We see this person who have served as one-term governor of a particular state in Southeast. And this particular person, after serving, today, he's been saying it and saying, always, anytime he makes statement, he tells you, go and verify. And he rightly said, go and verify that since he left office as a governor, he said he have never taken a kobo in the name of pension as a former governor. But in Nigeria today, once you are done being a governor, you begin to assess pension. You are being paid. We have a sitting president today, incumbent, who is being paid pension from Lagos State Government House. Okay? And so we see this person who said, no, do not pay me. So what are we looking for again? What are we waiting for? I mean, we don't need what to wear on your wrist. You don't need mirror for you to be able to see exactly how beautiful it is. You see very clear, it's very glaring. So in this context, we see the person whose conscience, whose intent, whose ambition is all about the people, the masses. Someone whom, before anything will happen, is already there. In fact, he did not wait until people dies. He goes to, to talk lives, talk about schools, where he goes to invest in the future of our youths, believing that these guys are going to become great tomorrow. So he's not waiting until by the time the election is about to take place. Maybe not like we're talking about coalition now. We should be expecting that sometime to come we're going to be having primaries, and that during that primaries you're going to be seeing Dora reign. Yes, Dele Momodu rightly told us that the last PDP primaries, that Nyesom Wike, the sitting minister of FCT today, he rightly said that he was giving to delegates $30,000 each delegate. And so, but we see a particular man who has been moving around, instead of waiting to use $30,000 each to buy off delegates, he's been using that money to invest in Nigerians, in their future, going from school to school, giving out, donating, millions of naira, 20s of millions, hundreds of millions, tens of millions, going to places to donate.
Don't you see this as a campaign strategy?
Well, you may call it a campaign, but he's not doing campaign there. Remember, most of the students he's going to touch their lives, they are not up to the age of voting. Okay. Like in secondary schools, they are not up to the age of voting, right? And so he still go there to go and touch their lives. Meanwhile, it's not something he started today. While he was the governor of Anambra State, he was going to Kogi State. He was the governor of Anambra State as at then, and he was in Apuga, remember. And Apuga is not like a national party, just like that. Now he was going to Kogi State as at then to go and donate money to their schools in Kogi State. That wasn't Anambra State. And it wasn't the money that belongs to Anambra State government, no. So he's been in his character over the years. And so we want to see this kind of a person. Why not we give him that opportunity? Let's see exactly how he's going to be able to set the pace for us.
Yeah, coming into that, just as she mentioned, now the political strongholds and joining the ADC to come out to unseat this present administration come 2027 general election. We have the likes of Atiku and of course Peter Obi that's also supporting the ADC. Now the question on the heart of many Nigerians is, will there be a clash of interest? Because the article that many Nigerians know is still insisting that it's coming 2027. The likes of Peter Obi will likely come 2027, and God knows whoever again that will come from that same party. Will there be a clash of interest?
Okay, what we'll look at here is this. Those that are actually plotting all this, they are people with intellectual capacities.
Yeah.
And there are persons that are being consulted. People who may call stakeholders. All right? And so we have a lot of reasons to put to the table. Reasons like, in the business of Nigeria polity, Southeast have not produced presidents since 1999 till now. So Southeast happens to be the only region and the major tribe that have not produced president. And it has been a concern that have also culminated into secessionist or secessionism moves of a larger citizens, group of citizens from Southeast, all right, that we call today IPOBs, all right? And so all about marginalization, and we've been seeing it in different sectors happening. And so this is one of the reasons. This is what that's Pa Ayo Adebanjo of blessed memory now, who happens to be the then Afenifere leader. He was chanting that song. He was promoting that rhetorics. He was promoting that reality, presenting it to Nigerians, to the world, all about Southeast, that it is the turn of Southeast to produce. That was prior to 2023 general election. And Pa Edwin Clark of blessed memory as well, who unfortunately, these two men have lost their lives under this administration. We're not painting a picture here. But this man who are not from Southeast have been shouting. Edwin Clark happens to be the leader of Pandef. All right. They have been shouting and saying, it is the turn of Southeast. If you bring it to the table, this is a substantive evidence that it is the turn of Southeast. Now, away from that, you now go to the area of capacity, proficiency, consistency in whatever that have been your character. We look at those things. Then we'll talk about someone who said, I'm going to do only but one time. Buhari told us he was going to do one time. Remember, prior to 2015 election, that was exactly what he said. But when he got to 2019, he changed overnight and vied for the second term, and he took it. Whether by this way or by the other way around, he took it. All right. And so, but we've seen someone whose character has been so consistent, who have said, I am not desperate to become the president of Nigeria, but I'm just desperate to see Nigeria work. So we're going to see all these things on the table. And those that are going to be consulted, consultation is on now as we are speaking. Meanwhile, before we started having before we started having the invention of the coalition, there have been a lot of alignments and realignments, consultations that have taken place all over the moratorium period of 18 months before we now started seeing coalition being pronounced and being unveiled. Okay. All right. And so when you bring all this together, I believe a lot of things might have been discussed behind camera. But I know Atiku that we're talking about, who happens to be the opponent, they are within. The opponent within.
They are all in the same party.
They are all in the same party. But Atiku is this person whom, Nigerians know him. We don't need to ask plenty questions.
We don't have to go into that.
Nigerians know him.
We don't have to go into that. So let's talk about the one-party system that we had just mentioned at the introduction of this particular subject matter, whereby it's written, or some school of thought have it, that the current president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is buying the political bigwigs from different opposition parties into the APC. So in order to run a one-party system, we've seen this happen where governors from the opposition party, people that hold different offices from the opposition party actually, endorse him ahead of 2027 from their speech, one way or the other. Do you really think we are tilting to a one-party system?
Okay, perhaps the rhetoric we are saying is working towards that, but the reality cannot produce that.
Okay.
Now, if ever we say one-party system is going to be the best for us, there is no problem. We copy from China. We get it done here. All right, we paste it here. But let's also copy from China that if you are corrupt, you are being beheaded. That's how China do their things. Yeah, that's how their political leaders, you are being found corrupt, you are being killed. No matter the amount. They don't wait until you steal billions. Just 1,000 yuan being lost under your watch. Your head is off your shoulders. Be you president, be you who. So if we want to copy one-party system from them, we project to the APC. Let's take one-party system, keep it by this side, and take the corrupt and be beheaded this side. Choose the two together. If you are going with the two, then we agree with you. But if you are not going with the two, then the other way around. I just told you, it is a rhetoric, but it's not going to hold water. Now, why? Those that are giving false hope. For instance, you talk about Dave Umahi, who rightly said, hey, the whole of Southeast are going to vote for President Tinubu, right? Dave Umahi rightly told us, after 2023 general election, he said, in his family, he happens to be the only person that voted for APC. His biological family. He said his children, everybody in his family, obedient here and there. If Dave Umahi, as a sitting governor, then remember, he was a sitting governor. If he was unable to win the will of his immediate family to vote for APC, who happens to be his own party, do you not think that he's going to use gunshots or gunpoint to force people from his community? Remember, he's no longer a sitting governor.
Yeah.
So how do you not think he's going to do that? The same thing with other governors who are being hoodwinked into the fold of one party. called
we
APC today.
we hope we still understand that he that pays the piper still
Dictate the
dictates
tone.
the tune.
Yeah.
So if we have a situation where the governors, the big wigs, the people that are holding the different political positions are reinstating our president, or rather they are endorsing him for the 2027, we know how Nigerian political system works. Don't you see what happened in what happened in 2023 happening in 2027?
Remember that prior to 2015 election, about 22 governors in PDP endorsed Goodluck Jonathan then, right? What later happened? How many states do we have in Nigeria? We have 36. 22 out of 36. How many remains? But do you know that finally Goodluck was being ousted? So it's not about the governors. Just like I gave you an instance now. The sitting governor, Dave Umahi Assad, then in his family was the only person that voted for APC. In his family. Then do you now think that if he cannot convince and influence his family, immediate blood, to vote for his party, do you now think that he's being able to influence his community? We are talking about his family. He confessed it by himself that his family members was the only person that voted for APC in his own family. Every other persons were shouting obedience. In his family, including the wife.
Okay, yeah, to add to this, okay, this is really challenging for the African Democratic Congress, the coalition party ADC, to come to want to unseat this current administration. But another question that many Nigerians want to understand is that last election, the 2023 general elections, you have the likes of the APC and PDP condemning the Labour Party that the Labour Party does not have the structure to win over. With this new coalition party, do they have the structure to really unseat this current administration?
Okay, understand this. You know, whenever you are, politics is a game. Understand that. Some people call it dirty game. But the truth is that it's not a dirty game. But if you play it dirty, it becomes dirty. Likewise, you are a priest in a church. Being priest or priesthood is not a dirty service call. It is honor. It is highly honored. But if you play it dirty, you become a dirty priest. All right?
Yeah.
A security officer, say an army man, say a policeman, is a very honored job.
Yeah.
Very noble one as that. But if you do your job dirty, it becomes dirty job. Now, when it comes to politics, we talk about those that say that P2B did not have the spread. He didn't have the structure. P2B rightly refuted that by making a simple statement. He said the structure is the people. When you're talking about structure, you're talking about structure whereby you have office in so and so place that is affiliated to your party, right? You have people manning those offices. Those offices, what about if you have all the offices, but you do not have a single individual that is supporting the office, apart from the party official in that office? So what do we call that?
Okay.
The structure we are looking for is about the masses. The masses. The day of the election, you're not going to go to a APC office to go and vote. You're going to come to the polling unit to come and cast your vote. Then the coalition party today is going to simply appoint their party officials that's going to be manning and, of course, overseeing what happens at the election units. All right, and report back to the situation room. All right. Yeah. So about structure, no. What you need, though we are talking about structure, whereas P2B each time the youths, Nigerians, calls for rally in support of P2B. That was in the last election. You see what happened in the whole country. All the streets will be filled up.
Okay, so in essence,
what structure again
in essence, what you're saying is that the ADC party has the structure.
I told you that we are talking about structure just to water down your mind from supporting Peter Obi Assad then. All right? But now you won't hear them talk about that structure again. The only person that will talk about structure is APC. Yeah. All right? Because this is a game. You'll be finding whatsoever you will use to confuse your opponent.
Okay.
All right? So you can always hold whatsoever and begin to use it against your opponent.
I think just before we conclude this conversation, the former president of Nigeria died on Sunday in London, in a hospital in London. And today is his burial. I don't know if he has been buried already, but it was just ongoing. He was buried already. So how do you feel about this news of his death. And today is a public holiday to honor the late president or the late former president. In general, how do you feel about this? And what do you think other Nigerian politicians can learn from his failures and his wins when he was in power?
Okay, one thing to take from his wins while he was alive is just resilience. All right, the benefit of resilience, resilient spirit. He contested, he failed, he contested until he became the president. That alone, other things are in the negative.
Okay.
We all know about that. Then going to London to go and die is a shame to Africa.
He didn't go
It's a
to
shame
London to die. He
Nigeria.
died in London. He didn't
Then
go
he
to
went
London to
and
die.
died.
He died
No,
He went to
in
London,
a
right?
hospital.
in a
actually.
hospital.
Yes,
too.
he went up there, right? And he died. Did he came back? No. Did he came back through the immigration? The answer is no. He came back through the custom.
So it's better.
They
to put
didn't
it-
clear him in immigration.
just-
They cleared him as in custom as almost, let me say, goose. He was being cleared there. Nobody talked about his passport. So he was just being cleared as goose. So leaving Nigeria to go over there to go and die. No, it's a shame. Just like I told you prior to now, that his former aide rightly said that he would have died here long ago had he was using a hospital. But he was here as, in fact, the longest served leader of Nigeria, about 9 years plus 7 months. During his military rulership era, he served for 1 year plus 7 months and some days. And he came as a civilian leader. Now he served for 8 years. So the longest. After all these years, he could not fix at least one hospital. Do you know in 2021, do you know what he did? He mapped out how many billions for Aston Villa General Hospital. That hospital was meant for actually the president and his family. But do you know that after all the money, we did not see anything. The wife even cried out and said that, including strange, that paracetamol is not being found in the hospital. Why they were sitting as president and and government. So for goodness sake, is it not a shame? Okay, a man that died and the people, his people in his state, we are all jubilating, throwing party, making rallies, moving up and down. I have the videos in my phone. Go to Kano, they were jubilating that I have died. I mean, a president that came and after you're being in office, while he was even in office, in fact, the bandits have to intercept his convoy and shot mess out of his convoy. Did you not saw one of his security details vehicle that they shot beyond recognition? I mean, for goodness sake, is it not a shame? Go to that UK he went. The former Prime Minister of UK, that's Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson, after he ran in office as the Prime Minister, he goes to mall to go and buy something. He goes to supermarket to buy something with chopper bicycle, with not even a single scout personnel, let alone police, following him up and down. He don't need that. With chopper bicycle, not with siren. Chopper bicycle, he paddles it by himself. He goes there to go and buy something, he paddles it and go his way. Honorably. But in our own here, you will steal people's future. They will be chasing you. Including the spirit of the dead, people that have died as a result of your misrule, will be chasing you. And that's why they cannot be here comfortable. That's why we still see a sitting president today that he have Qatar off to UK. If he did not go to UK, he will go to France. A sitting president who told us he was going to take, in fact, he took 2 weeks off. He said on working visit to Paris to go and evaluate what he had done in the past 2 years. So, I mean, for goodness sake, after spending over 21 billion renovating vice president's residence, spending billions to renovate his Bodilon house at Lagos State, spending billions to renovate places that are not for public use. After spending it, you cannot use any of those places to sit under the AC and evaluate your performance until you leave Nigeria spending our money, taxpayers' money, and fly over to UK or fly over to France to go and sit there and think. I can't imagine.
Thank you.
So for goodness sake, Buhari dying over there It brings more shame to Nigeria.
All right. Just this one, maybe before we wrap it. Let's still come back to the ADC, the coalition party. Right now, do Nigerians really need this new political party, ADC? You know, maybe APC, another party. Is this what Nigerians need, or we need a different face? Some people are of the opinion that these people, even if they're an ADC, they're an APC, Labour Party, PDP, they are still the same people in between the corruptions, doing the stuff they've been doing. The party does not change you the eyes like a chameleon. The party is just like you being another color. Now, the question is, do we need them in any of these parties? Do we even need them, or we need a different face, an entire new breed, maybe a youthful person that can come and change the looks of things?
Okay, what you said is not alien to our system. Perhaps what we are looking at is a people that are going to come together, galvanize their strength, their political influence to support a Peter Obi, for instance, whom we have seen as a good breed that's going to produce, that's going to make a good leader in Nigeria. All right? So that's exactly what we are hoping to see. And if you go by the realities on ground, you discover that you have the most influence, both in the lives of, let me say, the middle class, the low, and including the high class, the top class. In ADC. All right? And so we want to see those who will not divide the vote that was supposed to come to Peter Obi. There is a kind of voting influence, and of course, positive result you will have in the coming election to rig it, including Mahmoud, who swear that he can never do that. I don't know if you're getting me. And I want to see where these guys bring together their arsenals and support a Peter Obi, for instance, and get ready to die together, but to have a Peter Obi being produced and being crowned the president of Nigeria, as to take us out of this quagmire where we are today. All right? That's exactly what we want to see. But it's not like saying what you said is true, but we don't want to see where we have like an Atiku, for instance, who has been in different parties, who have a lot of baggages, that if you want to talk about now throwing political jibes or throwing like political bullets, then you discover that you have a whole lot of things being held against him that are real, that are verifiable, being held against him. That is when it comes to corrupt cases and records. This is a man that Obasanjo rightly said, no, that anything that will happen, that this man will become president, no, it's going to be a terrible thing. All right? This is a man that Obasanjo, they have to take Obasanjo's intervention in 2018 to let him enter America. Because somehow they see America as Jerusalem, as heaven. Yes. So what we are looking at now is these guys that can come together and believe that we want to get things right. If we have a P2B, the truth is that whatsoever you have in your mind as to steal from the system, it cannot work. It cannot work. It happened in the past when he was the governor, all right? And they impeached him. He went to court. He got himself back.
Okay.
All right? So what we want to see now is a people that will bring all their influences together, like the Kwankwasia of Kwankwaso, like articulate group of Atiku, and those that are loyal to Nasir Rufai and what have you, all of them coming together, not dividing the vote this time around.
Thank you so much. Not dividing the vote. Thank you so much.
To support Epito.
Yeah, you've really done a noble to help us analyze all of this. In case you just joined us, of course, this is Signature Evening, and we're still looking at some of the topics we have at hand right now. But then again, Queen.
All right, so that's the most we can have on this conversation. Thank you so much, Chime Emmanuel, for joining us.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.